Welcome to Off the Bat. Today I'm going to continue our series about importing legends into the 2020 season. I'm choosing to do Lou Gehrig, so of course I'm going to have to create a new standard game. I'm going to see you at the 2020 season draft. In some of the last videos, I took control as the GM, but I've decided not to be the GM so that I don't have to, so that I can autoplay a lot faster. It says the Diamondbacks, but I don't have a job, so I would have to be on commissioner mode also. Let's turn that on. I'm going to show you quickly how to import a player. I have to go to, I'm not even able to, okay, I'm going to have to take over a team in order to import. So I'm just going to pick the Diamondbacks for now. Once he gets into the league, I'm going to quit. So let's go to sign a free agent, and we're going to import a historical player. First we need his player code, so let's just search him up. Lou Gehrig, that's who I'm going to do this game. And you can find his player code by either just copying it from here, or you can go to baseballreference.com, and the end of the link ends with SHTML, but there's a code right before that. So it's the 5 letters of the last name, 2 letters of the first name, and then a number. Barry Bonds was, I did the Jackie Robinson video, so it was Robin JA02. I thought it was 01, so I had some trouble there. So let's go import him into the game. Import. I'm just going to check what year he joined the MLB so that it is going to be easier to figure it out. So, yeah, I'll be back. So it says right here, it says in 1923 he signed as a free agent with the Yankees. So I'm going to go to 1923 and put his player code in. We're going to import him into the draft pool, and let's import the player. It said it succeeded, so let's search him up, and there's 2 of him. You can see his potential is nuts. Even the scout, I might not have a head scout then. No, I do. It must be glitching. I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, we can just try it. So I will see you at the draft. Obviously, in every video, in order to autoplay so quickly, we have to change all of these to be like the bench coach and the assistant GM. I'm pretty sure Hazen is the regular GM, so the team is still going to be managed by Hazen. Well, it's going to be general manager. And all of these autoplays don't need to happen because the assistant GM is in charge. I'll be back at the draft. Yeah, so it's autoplayed to the draft. I'm not going to do anything. I set today's the draft, so I'll see you at the end of the draft so that we'll see who he gets drafted by, and obviously we'll take over that team. We're going to let the assistant GM do everything. None of this should matter, so now I'm going to look for Lou Gehrig. Was he not drafted? So he was drafted by the Orioles. So let's take a job with the Orioles. There they are. None of this is my concern. I'm just going to turn on cannot be fired. That's what happened to me. This guy is the GM for the Orioles, and so he's still getting these same permissions. For some reason, he hasn't offered anything, so I'm just gonna make sure that he wants a lot of money. The draft budget is $12 million, so that's what we're gonna. Gehrig might not sign here. So I'm just going to see what happens. I'll be back to tell you if he signs or not. So, yeah, see you then. And the game today is August 1st, and Barry Bonds. No, we did a video on Barry Bonds, but Lou Gehrig, he just signed with us, so yeah, he's now in the minors for Baltimore. I'm going to sim until the end of the season, and we'll see where we're at. So it's the end of the season. Baltimore, obviously the worst record in the league. They were 52 and 110, which means they're going to get the first draft pick next year. In the rookie league, Lou Gehrig ended up playing 25 games, hitting 337 with 2 homers, 2 triples, 14 doubles, 11 strikeouts, 1 stolen base, 8 walks, 18 RBIs. I'm going to see you at the start of the next season to see where we're at. I don't understand what's happening. We're leading our division during spring training, and there's a team called the Columbus Conquistadors. I'll check what team they originally were. Obviously, there are still 5 teams in the division, which means that somebody relocated. I'm not extremely familiar with the National League, so let's just see what team they were. Usually we can just check their minor leagues. They're the Miami Marlins. I guess the market size was a bit better in Columbus. So let's check on Gehrig. That's what the video is about. So he was traded to the Mets with Pat Valaika for Seth Lugo. I don't know if that's a great trade, but we're going to move to the Mets. Here they are. The personnel, obviously everything is set to be for my manager. These are the emails from the team owner, and let's just make sure my options. I don't know if Van Wagenen is the GM from New York, but this is what the game automatically decided. So I'm going to check in during the All-Star break to see what his stats are at, and I will see you there. Okay, so today is the day when the All-Star teams are announced. Let's just get rid of all these notifications and let's check Lou Gehrig. So he is now still in the New York Mets. He played in this year. He played in A+. He hit 342 with 2 homers, good amount of RBIs, pretty good walk to strikeout rate. He only tried to steal once and he got caught, but he had a 3.3 WAR. He also played in single A, 15 games, a better average, worse strikeout to walk rate, decent amount of RBIs, more homers, less triples, less doubles, of course. He played a lot less games. I'll see you back at the end of the season. Okay, so it's the end of the season, and we were 81 and 81. There was a point to which I thought we could have made the wild card, and if I search for Lou Gehrig, let's see where he is. He is still in the Mets organization. Right now he's in Double A, but he didn't end up playing there. I guess he got demoted to Single A, and he played 40 games there. He also, I remember when I checked in, he had like 15 games played. So he played a little bit more in Single A, and then A-. Overall, he had a very good year. If you calculate all the WAR together, they're all at A leagues, so they are comparable. I'll see you again at opening day of 2022. Okay, so it's the start of the 2022 season. Lou Gehrig right now, still 5-star potential. He is going to start off the season in Double A. Right now he's the number 1 prospect. And I'll check in at the All-Star break to see where we are at. Okay, so today the All-Star teams get released, and we're going to check where Lou Gehrig is. And he's still in Double A. He's played 83 games with 2 homers already, hitting 106 hits in 312 at-bats with a 340 average. 4 WAR, which is really good. Projected to be 6. So I'm going to see you at the end of this season. We'll see where Gehrig is at. And yeah, see you then. So it's the end of the season. Let's see where Gehrig is at. So he's actually in the Arizona Diamondbacks, which I find kind of funny because that's the team I started off on. And he did end up playing 65 games. He didn't play in AAA, so he played 65 games, hitting 347 with 2 homers. You see his home run power has yet to develop. He had a very good WAR in a minimal amount of games. So I'm going to take over the Diamondbacks because he's there. I'm going to make sure that that the assistant GM and the bench coach, not available jobs, are in charge of everything so that his career can run its natural course. I'll be back on opening day of 2023. So today's opening day of the 2023 season, and it looks like Gehrig is not here. He might be on the injured list. No, he's actually placed at right field. So right now he's 3 stars. I just wanted to look. So his first ever achievement was 5 for 5 plus hits. He went 5 for 6 with 3 RBIs. This was actually in the minor leagues. He was Rookie of the Month in the majors. It says here that he was an MLB NL All-Star selection in 2022, which means that I didn't really check what team. I guess, because I didn't know that. It doesn't make sense. It would usually show right in this area beside his name on the left. Like if I were to look at Trout, I would show all of his all-star games, these stars. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. But let's just skip until the All-Star break. I'll see you then. So it's the All-Star break of 2023, and I looked everywhere. I could not find Lou Gehrig. Yeah, so I don't see Gehrig anywhere on this team. So he's actually now on the San Diego Padres. So let's just quickly take over their team, and then we'll look over his stats so far. I don't care about these emails. They're useless. But Gehrig, this season, he's played 89 games in Arizona, hitting 329 with a 3.5 WAR. He's so far hit 8 homers in Arizona. Of course, his home run power has yet to improve. And he's only played 3 games in San Diego. Not doing very well, but I'm sure we'll see some improvement later in the season. I'll see you at the end of the 2023 season, so goodbye. Yeah, so this is the end of the season. It says Lou Gehrig. It says Lou Gehrig was the batting champion, which means he has the highest average. He still is in the same division that he started off in, just on a different team. So we see this season in San Diego. He didn't hit as well, but he played overall. He played 155 games, if my counting is not wrong. His WAR was 5.3, and yeah, this is for sure a career year for him. In the majors, he's still 22, and he has a 7 WAR. He's for sure going to emerge to be a superstar. His home run power has still yet to improve. So let's see what happens at the start of next year, and it'll be there in like 3 seconds, so yep. So it's now opening day of 2024. Lou Gehrig is now on the Giants, so let's go take over the Giants. He's been traded so many times, and he's not even 24 yet. I can't wear the Giants. There they are. Okay. There's a lot of... Lou Gehrig is the starting right fielder for San Fran. This year I expect a crazy year. Of course, his injury proneness is durable. Last time I did Jackie Robinson and it was fragile, so it ended up being like a small career because he kept getting injured and his stats kept decreasing. His speed is really low, but his stealing is high, which I like. He gets walked a lot. His eye projected to be 55, but his avoid strikeouts says 80. I'm going to check back in at the All-Star break, so see you there. Something I find kind of funny, he played for 3 teams in the NL West. Just wanted to point that out. That's kind of cool. So it's the All-Star break, and Gehrig's projected to play 162 games, getting a 4.7 WAR. It's not as good as last year, but he's playing a full season for one team. His home run power went up, his eye went up, and let's just hope he reaches his potential for the end of the season. I'll see you there. Okay, so it's the end of the season now in San Diego. Lou Gehrig kept fighting for a top average spot. There was one point where Acuna Jr. was at like 333 and Gehrig was at 332, and then it kind of went off track. He ended up playing 161 games. He beat the projections. His WAR was actually 5.2, which is better than last year. He hit 334, which is better than last year. He also stole a bunch more. He hit more homers. His home run power, it improved. His eye has yet to get 5 more ratings improved. He's 4 stars, but he still has a 5-star potential. So yeah, let's see where we're at. Of course, he was an all-star in 2024, and so his first major league achievement was a walk-off RBI single in 2023, which could have been on the Diamondbacks or the Padres. For now, he's on San Fran. We'll see you at opening day. Yeah, so it's
not swinging at anything.
It's opening day of 2025. Lou Gehrig is 24 years old in 281 days. We already went over his stats last year. Just wanted to point out that he had 210 hits, which is crazy. Yeah, he's still on the Giants, so we'll check in at the All-Star break. Like this, there are many points in the season where Gehrig's on top of the batting average. In the 2023 season, he was the batting champion. Just wanted to point that out. Now he's back in first, competing with like Gavin Lux. We'll see you at the All-Star break. Okay, well, today is the start of the All-Star break. This could be an MVP season for him, honestly, because he's already at 94 games. His WAR is pretty much the same as it was at a full year last year. His OPS plus is way better. His OPS, it's over by 100, his slugging up by 73, and his OBP, basically all these percentages are up higher. He's got almost as many walks, almost as many RBIs, more homers. Of course, less triples. As you develop your speed, sometimes gets a little worse. I know Gehrig wasn't the fastest, but it shows he's still pretty good at stealing. And yeah, that shows he started 93 out of his 94 games. He's already been to the plate 414 times with 122 hits. He's clearly on track to getting 206 hits, almost as many as last year. 27 homers, which is a career for him. He is projected to get an 8.2 WAR, so let's see what he's at the end of the season. Yeah, so Lou Gehrig, he's up on batter WAR. The season's almost over because it's September 13th. It does look like this team is going to make the playoffs. Gehrig's second for OBP plus slugging, so I think that's OPS. He's above on the batting average and the batting WAR. Let's hope he stays above Cody Bellinger. I really want to see him win an MVP. September 19th, 20th. Let's just sim the rest of this. Yeah, so we're doing better. We're obviously the second best team in the National League right now. We're automatically going to get a wild card position, though, because the Dodgers are doing a lot better than us. The Dodgers are obviously a strong team. So, yeah, we just lost the playoffs to the Diamondbacks, another team that Gehrig has played on. He did come in second for batters WAR. I'll show you his full stat line once we fully sim the playoffs. That's usually what I do. Yeah, so the Reds won. Okay, that's our score. That's like a lot of emails that I haven't checked. It's not important to me. I'm really just going to check. Gehrig, obviously, he's reached his home run power, his eye, the rating. That's it. He's reached his full potential, and obviously this could be an MVP caliber season with an 8.7 WAR. He played less games, more hits. He exceeded his WAR rating again. His season this year was a lot better than last year, especially walks-wise, 120 walks to 41 strikeouts, 112 RBIs, 23 homers, and obviously he wasn't full ratings for the entire season, so I'm excited to see his stat line next year. I do also want to skip until the MVP rating. I'll show you that to see if he wins. Yeah, Cody Bellinger got the MVP. He hit 59 homers. He got more RBIs and more homers than Gehrig. His average was a lot less, but his slugging was a lot higher. His WAR was just a little bit higher. Of course, Gehrig has the entire rest of his career to see how things play out. So I'm going to sim to the start of the 2026 season. I will see you there. Gonna try and make this quick. He's fully reached his potential. He's 25, a bit closer to 26. Still on the Giants, still the right fielder. He's being paid $11,200,000 after arbitration. That's his first round of arbitration. I'm gonna get the year started. I'll see you at the All-Star break. Yeah, it's mid-May, and Gehrig, he's hitting 400, which I find kind of crazy. He was, of course, is lowering now. It's becoming closer to 350. That's probably his average, but I just wanted to point it out because it's really impressive. 388. Okay, so we'll be back at the All-Star break. So today, the All-Star teams were released, Lou Gehrig being the most popular All-Star. He's projected to have a 9.9 WAR this season. He's hitting very close to 400, like I pointed out. Better average. He almost has as many homers as he had. He's projected to get around 100 walks, 120 RBIs, 46 homers, a lot more hits than usual, pretty much the same runs as last year. I'm excited to see where he's at, so let's just finish the season. I don't know if our team's going to make the playoffs, but I'm going to sim through the playoffs. If we make it to the World Series, we'll watch the count change. So see you at the end of the playoffs, or us playing the playoffs. Yeah, so this year the Giants, I read the Padres earlier, but the Giants, they had a negative record. Lou Gehrig, though, of course, he surpassed his WAR expectation. Less walks, more RBIs, more homers, more triples, same amount of doubles, more hits, in less games. So overall this year, he hit 397, which is extremely close to 400. He topped off a lot of the stats. Last year, Bellinger won MVP, but I think Gehrig's gonna win this year. So I'll keep you tuned to see if he actually wins. See you there. I'm glad to announce Lou Gehrig. He got his first MVP. He is 26 years old. So let's sim to the next opening day. I'm no longer gonna stop at the All-Star break because I just want to see how his full seasons end up turning out. So I'll stop when the regular season starts and at the end of the season. So see you then. Okay, it's the start of the 2020 season. Lou Gehrig, he's almost 27. His contract is now 17 mil, 600,000, and yeah, we're gonna sim to the end of the season, and we'll see where we're at. I will see you there. It's early in the season, but I can see Lou Gehrig. He's at the top of hit streak. He's at the top of batter war. Just was top of OPS, top of batting average. I think he's the only hitter in the league right now who's capable of hitting 400. It shows in the AL Lindor. He's also hitting pretty well. I don't think he's hitting well enough to go to 400. I know Gehrig stayed there for almost all of last season, so I'm just gonna check in with updates throughout the season. It appears we're third in our division, yet we've clinched the playoffs. So we're going to be heading to the wild card game, and we're going to be facing the Diamondbacks. Of course, I'm not going to actually physically play the game. I'm going to sim through it, let my management, my bench coach, obviously he's technically the manager, and then the assistant GM is technically the GM. Yeah, so it's September 17th. I'll check in on the date of the All-Star game, of not the All-Star game, the wild card game. I think today's the wild card game, and we just lost, so we're out of the playoffs. I'll see if Gehrig wins MVP. He hit a lot better than Acuna, who wasn't actually on the board for average. Acuna was on the board for RBI, and he was homers, and then I guess he fell off. Acuna's WAR was .3 better, but I still think there's a chance Gehrig can get it. So I'll check in on the date that MVP is released. So it's the end of the season, and obviously I'm paying attention to his arbitration. He actually signed an 8-year contract extension, so he is going to be on the Giants for a while unless they trade him away. I'm going to just check in, see if he wins MVP. So see you then. So I think this proves you don't need to have the best WAR to win MVP because Acuna, he hit 43 homers. His stat line was amazing. Is a really good one. And then Gehrig obviously had a worse WAR but a better average. His year last year was obviously a little bit better, but he had more doubles this year. He played one less game. I'll see you again at the start of 2028. Okay, so it's opening day of 2028, and team, honestly, it looks really good. Some of these names aren't familiar. Lou Gehrig, though, he's signed until 2035. He's closer to 28 now, so obviously his prime started in 2025, which was 3 seasons ago, when he was like almost 25 years old. Yeah, so it's the end of the season. Obviously, I'm going to sim to the start of the 2029 season. Lou Gehrig, very good season. I'll see you there. Also, pointing out Gehrig had the best average, OPS, and WAR, so he's looking to a third consecutive MVP. I think very brightly that he will. So, yeah, I'll sim to the day when MVP starts. And so that's it. It's his third MVP in a row. You can see 26, 27, and 28. He's been an all-star since 24. Silver Slugger for the last 3 years also. So obviously now I'm going to sim to the start of the season, and I will see you there. Okay, today's opening day. Obviously, we're gonna start off with a pretty nice looking team. Obviously, with Gehrig, Robert, Torres, Bart, Anger. I don't really know who a lot of these players are, but to be fair, it's 2029. Some of these people aren't even real. Maybe this guy. It says he was born. It says he was born in 1999, so he actually might be alive. Maybe some of the younger guys. 26. No, but I don't think this guy is a real person. I think this was auto created because I don't think any 2002 person is in the Major League Scouting database. Um, Obviously, we're going to sim to the end of the season to see how our bro, how Lou Gehrig did. It's the end of the 2029 season. Lou Gehrig, 29. He played two less games this year, but his stat line also not as good. You can see ever since 27, his average has been dropping. His slugging has dropped a lot too. He's still a superstar with a 6.8 WAR. I still think he has a chance to have a rebound year. Not saying that he was bad at all, but the last 3 years were MVP seasons. I don't believe this one will be, as there's this new guy like Juan Borrego. He kind of stayed under the radar for the last 3 years when Lou Gehrig won. Hopefully, he's not much of a competition for the rest of this career. Yeah, I'll see you at opening day of 2030. I'm just gonna see if Gehrig wins any awards. Obviously, that's important to us. So yeah, we'll check that, and then we'll go ahead to opening day of 2030. Okay, so we're just gonna go out to opening day of. Okay, we're here to check Lou Gehrig's. Let's see if he got. Let's see if he got any award. I know it says he's a right field. That's because the team originally placed him at right field, and that's where he developed in this career. It shows he is still first baseman. He did not get platinum stick. He was still an all-star though. Actually, the awards haven't happened yet, so let's just let those happen. I'll be back. Yeah, so Lou Gehrig did not win any awards this year. He came in sixth for the MVP voting. Yeah, that's really it. So I'm gonna sim to the start of the 2030 season. I will see you there. Today's opening day of 2030, and I don't really have much else to say. Of course, Lou Gehrig's almost 30 years old. He's signed for another 5 years. Let's hope he can have a better year than he did last year, which is still pretty amazing. Let's hope his average gets back up. Always look at OSA. Yeah, I'll see you at the end of the season. Okay, it's the end of the year, and obviously the Giants had a pretty horrible year. Lou Gehrig is still on the team. He's now 30, and his year is a lot better than it was last year. He, of course, it's not as good as his previous triple MVP seasons. I'm just looking at his overall career so far. He has a 63.4 WAR, so I'm gonna look at him here. He has a 109 WAR. He played from when he was 19 to when he was 35. Here it shows he played until he was 21. 21 to 30, 21, and he's signed until he is 35. So let's see how that turns out. I'm gonna sim to the next season, and we'll see where we're at. Today's opening day of 2031. Lou Gehrig is 30 years old, pretty close to 31 though. I'm gonna sim to the end of the season, and we'll see where we're at. Obviously, his best single season WAR was 10. Let's hope this can be the year where he exceeds that, because he is running out of prime years, maybe 2 or 3 left. Hopefully 4 or 5. Right now, I just have no idea. I'll see you at the end of the season. Okay, so it's the end of the season. The playoffs just ended. We still weren't in it. Obviously, the Giants in this year aren't very good. Lou Gehrig, he's still a 5-star player. He's 31 years old, 122 days. He's still 5 stars, obviously. Same ratings. So ever since 2029, he started growing. His average is back up to 362. He's 200 hits, again, over 100 walks. His homer got better since last year, his homer level. He played 4 more games and got .4 better WAR. I think maybe this year is a little bit comparable to last year. Actually, less strikeouts. So this year, at most, I would compare to last year because of the similar WAR. Otherwise, though, he's still pretty good on the leaderboards. He's in 3rd for WAR, 2nd for OPS. This guy, Oscar Caceres, or he's at almost a 10 WAR. His batting average isn't as bad, and he strikes out a lot, but he had a lot of homers, a lot of RBIs. I think it's still pretty competitive for MVP, although Acuna also did better than Lou Gehrig. Gehrig also topped off the batting average again. Again, meaning he did last year. Not last year, but he did his last MVP season. So let's just go to the MVP award announced, and we'll see let's see if he wins, because it's pretty debatable. Yeah, Gehrig didn't end up winning MVP. Honestly, he technically he got more first place points or votes or whatever that is, and then less total points. Even Drew Waters got a lot of them. I think next year Gehrig can build himself back up in order to win a final MVP. I'm actually going to go back to his original career. We'll see how many MVPs. He actually only won 2, so we're kind of in the lead. If I go to this career, his WAR, obviously it's a lot higher. It's now 71.6. I think his original was like 108. Yeah, 109.3. So I'm going to sim until the next season, which is 2032. See you there. Today is opening day of 2032 for the San Francisco Giants. I think Lou Gehrig, he's probably going to spend most of his career on the Giants, of course. He started off drafted by the Orioles. He traded to the Mets. He didn't play for either of them. And then he was traded to the Diamondbacks. So that was a pretty cool trade. So he starts off in the AL East. He then moves to the NL West for the Mets. Then he gets traded to the Diamondbacks, still in the NL West. Then he gets traded to the Padres, still in the NL West. And then to the Giants, still in the NL West. Oh, actually, the Mets, never mind. The Mets are not in the NL West, they're in the NL East. He ended up playing for, he played for Arizona, he played for San Diego, and he played for San Francisco. Obviously, there's still some time left in his career to see him play. I'm excited to see what he can get done this year, and I'll see you there. Okay, today's the end of the season, and I did see Lou Gehrig was not on the leaderboard for WAR. He did have the best average in the league. We can just check over here. He hit 345 with a 6.7 WAR, so he did end up climbing starting 2029 all the way to 2031. This progress did get lost. His walks are up, which are still good because in 2028 he lost his high walk count. His homers, they kind of dropped after 2028. His hits, a bit less, but also one less game. Not that he's going to get 7 hits in one game. He's at a 78.1 career WAR. We're hoping that he can get to a better career WAR, so he's still on the team for another 3 seasons, and hopefully he gets signed after that by someone else. You can see right now the head scout, obviously his accuracy is a lot higher, so it still says he's 5 stars, and these are his stats. Let's hope to see some improvements next year. I'm just going to check for any awards because those are kind of cool. I'll see you there. So I actually wasn't really looking, but he did end up winning a platinum stick this year, the year before, and the year before. So he didn't get it in 29. He's been an all-star 32, 31, 30, 29, 28. Basically, ever since he's been in the All-Star game since 2024. He's gotten 3 consecutive MVPs, and he got since 24. He only missed 1 platinum stick. I'm gonna sim to the next part of the season, to the start of the 2033 season, and I'll see you there. Welcome to opening day of 2033. Obviously, we're going to still check. Gehrig's still on the team. He's 32 years old, 278 days. He is signed. He's playing this year, 34, and the year after. There are no options on this contract, so that's a guarantee unless he gets released or traded, which I don't think he'll get released. If he gets traded, he'll still be playing. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead, start the season. It's the end of the 2023 season. The playoffs are done, and I already skipped to the MVP award date so we can see if he wins any awards. We can see on the Who's Hot, Who's Not list from our team, we can see that Lou Gehrig, in the past 8 games, he hit 571, so obviously he finished off the season very strongly. We can go check out his stats right now. And shows a pretty similar season to last year. A few more walks, but a few more RBIs. He's starting to hit a little worse. His stats, I guess they're going down. But obviously he's still on a contract, so I'm gonna sim to the start of the season, and then we'll see where we're at. It's the start of the 2034 season. It's Lou Gehrig's second last year on this contract. Looks like, based on how his stats his ratings are holding up, he might get signed onto a contract after that. I don't know if it's going to be through the Giants. I'm kind of curious what kind of year he's going to have. It looks like his ratings have gone down a little bit. I think it was the avoid strikeouts. Let's just hope he can still get as many walks as he's been getting, because that's one of the key reasons why he's so good. I'm going to sim to the end of the season, and I'll see you there. Okay, so it's the end of the season, and it says Gehrig tops the NL with a 346 average. He actually had a better year than he did last year. He got more homers, a few less RBIs, but he was still in the same range of walks to strikeouts. Played like 3 more games, started around the same amount. Of course, this year's better than last year. He had more runs, more hits. 1 more triple. That doesn't really count the stats, but he had a lot less strikeouts. Even if he had a lot less walks, a lot less strikeouts is good. Looks like 7 less strikeouts, 9 less walks. I'll take that. You can see he went down from 5 stars to 4 stars. He still has 1 more year to play on this contract, and he's either going to get re-signed or he's going to go to free agency. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen. I think San Fran might trade him away at the deadline next year. Of course, this is last year of the contract. They might not be able to afford to extend him. I don't know if he's going to ask for more. He might ask for less, but a lot more years. I'm curious to see what's going to happen, but obviously we have to sim until seeing the awards this year, so I'll see you there. Today's the date of the MVP award. If I check, it does not look like Gehrig was even in the rating. He got 148 total points. We already saw his stats, but this year He was an all-star. He was a platinum stick and an all-star. I don't know if maybe he can have a rebound year, relapse to try and get one more MVP. I don't expect that from him. I expect a 6-WAR year, just like the last two years, I think. So I'm going to see you at the start of the next season. Today is opening day of 2035. This is Lou Gehrig's last year on this contract. It shows at the end of the year it only showed 4.5 stars, but now obviously he's back to 5 stars. It could probably something with the scouting. So I'm going to sim the rest of the season, and free agency is going to be hectic. See you there. It's the end of the season again, and these stats are pretty predictable. They're very similar to 2035. He's walking a lot less. I guess his avoid strikeouts did go down. So like he struck out a bit more. He walked a bit less. Otherwise, pretty much the same. He actually got another 1 homer more than usual, but less hits. His average was also a bit lower. There's nothing wrong with the 327 average, by the way. It's very good. He's now a 4-star player, and he's 35. Doesn't look like they've signed him to an extension so far, and the offseason just started today. I'm going to sim to the end of the awards, and we'll see if he won anything. Today's the end of awards. He didn't win an MVP, but he got 2035 All-Star. He actually did not get the Platinum Stick this year. We're going to sim to the free agency filings to see if he actually becomes a free agent. And he's a free agent. He looks like he's now 4.5 stars. Obviously, these ratings change. He's asking for $39 million a year, which is crazy. I guess his career. He's not done yet. His regular like his actual career. He ended up with a 109.3 WAR. It looks like he's on track to that as a right fielder. At the start of his career, if you're at the end of the video, he was drafted as a first baseman. He had a bit of potential as a right fielder. So they played him at right field, and then eventually he just hasn't played first base in so long that he actually did play first base for a third of a game in this year. I'm going to sim. We're going to see where we're at. I'll unpause it once we see what team he signs with. It appears Lou Gehrig just signed a 3-year deal with the Los Angeles Angels. So let's just switch where we're going to become the Angels. They're right here. I'm going to sim to the start of the season to see where we're at. They were in a negative record this year, but with an acquisition with a star right fielder such as Lou Gehrig, obviously Mike Trout, I don't even see him. I think he might even be retired. No, he's retired. There's actually a second Mike Trout that's a center fielder. I find that kind of funny. Yeah, Mike Trout, he retired in 2033 on Cleveland. So, Gehrig's on the Angels. I'm going to sim to the start of the season to see where we're at. I'll see you there. Yeah, so today is opening day of 2036. Lou Gehrig is almost 36 years old. I'm actually going to sim to the end of the season. I'll see you on the day when the MVP ratings get released. I want to see if he can win, if he's going to win any more awards, or if his rating changes. Obviously, he's signed for this year, the year after, and that year after. So he's signed until 2038. So I'm going to see you there once I click this button, and see you there. Yeah, so today all of the ratings were announced. Today it says the MVP. Actually, a pitcher won this year. Just looking for Angels. Doesn't even look like Gehrig was in the race. He's still on the team. He had a pretty useful year. He actually got demoted to AAA for a few games. Maybe he was injured and came back on rehab. Either way, his OBP was really good. It was better than last year. His average was still very good. He brought up his walks, but he struck out a lot. He actually got more walks in a lot less games. Uh, I think this is a successful year, honestly, especially because he's 36. He's nearing the end of his career, so I'm going to send him to the start of the next year. It's opening day of 2037, and Lou Gehrig is now a three-star right fielder, so obviously he's past his prime. He's still probably one of the best outfielders, one of the best right fielders. If I go check, so you go to free agents and you go to not posted players. Where is it? Oh, it's player trade strength overview. So now I'm going to look for right field. So that's closers, relievers, starters. There's right fielders, and now we're going to try and find Los Angeles Angels. So Lou Gehrig right now, he's rated the 12th right fielder in the league. Under these players, obviously they're also 3 stars. As you get a bit bigger, they become like 5 stars and 4.5. I'm going to sim the rest of the season. I'll see you at the end. Okay, so today's the off season, and Lou Gehrig, obviously, he's near the end of his career. Next year might be his last year. So he ended up playing 154 games. He was in Los Angeles the entire time. If I look at his injury history, actually it was on profile. He didn't get injured this week. Obviously, it says his injury proneness is durable. He played a lot of games, which means he's still the starting right fielder. But he could have got a lot better. You can see his strikeouts. This is the most strikeouts he's ever had. Obviously, if he ends his career today, he would end up with 33% more walks over strikeouts, which is pretty cool. Obviously, that's rounding. I'm rounding it to 1,500 and to 1,000. His stolen bases, 2-2 on the year. His average was higher than last year, but his OPS went down. His WAR went down. So he's at 100.5. I remember last year in San Fran, I predicted he would reach his actual career WAR. I think it's 109 point something, 109.3. I don't see that happening unless he maintains his stats. I'm gonna sim to the start of the next season to see where we're at. I'll see you. For some reason, I'm gonna have to voice over this part because I don't think it recorded me speaking. That's what it shows right now. At the end of this season, looks like he gets signed by the Angels. He ended up playing 1 year in 2037 for them, and it looks like he's signed until 2038. He played 36 and 37. 38 ends up being his last year. Overall, in 2038, he doesn't have an amazing season, but obviously for a 38-year-old veteran, that's a career from age 21 to, I think it was 21 to the age of 38 is a long major league career. Actually, it shows 37. He has to play. There's the end of the 2038 season. We can see Lou Gehrig, obviously, he had a very good year. He didn't end up being as well as the Hall of Fame Lou Gehrig. But I guess the league is a little bit better now, and that's important information for us to know. So obviously, thank you for watching Off the Bat. I hope you subscribe. Follow our Instagram at Off the Bat Baseball, and have a great day.